Aries, welcome to your weekly reading. Let's get started and see what messages we have for Aries, Sun, Moon, and Rising for the week ahead. Now, keep in mind that these are general readings and they may not resonate for everyone. So take the messages that do and check out your other placements because you may have messages waiting for you there as well. Oh, wow. The cards are ready to jump out here for you, Aries. Let's see, what messages do we have for Aries? What is the energy for the week ahead for Aries? Sun, Moon, and Rising. Oh my goodness. Okay, Aries, you got some interesting cards here. Okay, bottom of the deck is Treasure Island. So I feel like you're moving towards something very prosperous, very joyful, something that is really connected to you. And we see Milk and Honey here also sort of enforcing that message of bringing in a lot of joy and happiness and surrendering to sort of life's beautiful aspects, you know, like it's like you're moving towards a period of celebration, of harmony, of peace, and of joy. A lot of joy and abundance here for you in that card. It looks like to get there, though, you're going to have to stay grounded in a situation that might be a bit full of chaos initially and a bit of conflict maybe. We're seeing card 32 and 33, so that's very interesting. In a very well shuffled deck, you got two cards that come right in sequence with one another. So that really makes me feel like you're definitely moving towards something, Aries. You're moving towards something that is for you. It's really something that's for you, and it's very unique. It's not like anyone else's journey, so don't even bother comparing it. Comparisons tend to lead to illusions anyway, so you're really being guided to be confident and to know yourself this week. So really being confident, knowing yourself, knowing where your joy lies, knowing where your happiness lies, and staying grounded in the now without thinking about things that have happened in the past that maybe you're thinking, oh, I wish I could have, or I should have, or any of that kind of vibe, or starting to panic or worry about things that are yet to pass, we have this funny tendency to create stories in our minds about what could happen. And, why not make that a story about what could happen that makes you feel really happy? A vision of something that would enrich your life, something that makes you feel like you're alive and you're joyful and you're doing what feels natural for you to do, It's interesting, but right now you're actually being guided to just focus on the present moment and to bring those kind of energies into your present day, to not say, this is gonna happen, but to say it's here now. It's here now. I just have to embody it. Aries, it's very interesting. Okay, let's jump into the tarot cards and see if we can sort of flush this out a little bit more for you. What are you up to? Something unique, something that's really giving you a lot of confidence. Look at that. As I cut the deck, we see the Nine of Cups and the Wheel of Fortune. So you're definitely moving towards a lot of fulfillment on an emotional level. You're moving towards a lot of joy, happiness, prosperity, abundance. Aries, this is wonderful. And I feel like the only thing here that you need to really be mindful of is what's happening right now. Something is happening right now to sort of align you to this path. And it feels like, you're getting that chaos and conflict card because it might be that something has to shift to get you where you're going. There may be some adjustments required here. Let's have a look at the tarot cards and see what we get. There's the Queen of Swords. So you're definitely you're seeking out the truth about this situation in a very you've got a lot of integrity. You're not looking for shortcuts. You're not afraid to do the work. You're not afraid to go through some chaos and conflict or to walk a path that you've never walked before. You're just, if anything, I feel like you're looking for direction. You're looking for direction, and then it's like you're ready to be vulnerable and expressive with this Knight of Cups coming in here. So it's interesting. It's like you're ready. You're ready. And there's that poised cards reminding us of that readiness. Now here's that Five of Cups in reverse. This could be the chaos and conflict that you're sort of being guided through, or this might be why we're seeing the here and now card, because you're sort of being guided away from memories of the past. Instead of lamenting things that have happened and that you can't do anything about them now because that timeline is, it's over. You're being guided to stay focused on the now. So that really makes me feel like maybe there have been some disappointments in the past. There have been some things that have happened in the past where you have felt disappointed, let down, a little disillusioned maybe, a little bit of remorse or regret around some things, and you're still maybe holding on to them a little bit, but you're really being guided to let that stuff go. And here's Judgment in reverse. So yeah, it's interesting. There's something maybe that you're hanging on to that needs to be freed. You need to just release this and to sort of trust the process that you're moving towards right now without sort of misleading yourself. Seven of Swords on the bottom of the deck. So, this isn't the time to doubt yourself or to tell yourself limiting beliefs, stories that surround past moments of disappointment where you're like, well, that's going to happen again. If I do this, then this is going to happen. That kind of stuff is going to not serve you this week. I don't think it would ever really serve you, but especially as you're moving towards this, what feels to me like you're moving towards something that's very, very positive. This really isn't the time to doubt yourself or to, hang on to old stories that aren't real. They're not true. They may have, there may have been moments where you identify with those stories, but if it's not happening in the present moment, it can be a challenge, but it doesn't have to be. It doesn't have to be. It's only a challenge if we tell ourselves it's a challenge, really. But to let go of these things and to sort of move past them, sort of to invite yourself to shine today, no matter what past experiences you've had. And it feels like you're really being guided to not deceive yourself. Don't kid yourself. Don't lie to yourself. Don't tell yourself stories that are limiting or not even true, because really you're being guided to focus on the present moment. And the present moment is it's entirely within our control, in the sense of how do we want to show up? How do we want to show up in the present moment? It doesn't have to be like it was in the past. You can literally choose how you want to show up every day. You know what I mean? And just because things went down a certain way in the past doesn't mean that cycle is going to repeat itself unless you're determined to see it repeat. Okay, Aries, let's clarify some of these. Why is the Queen of Swords here? Queen of Swords energy. Interesting. Look at that. We've got the Ten of Cups in reverse, the Queen of Pentacles in reverse, and the Page of Cups in reverse. So it's like there's this brand new beginning, but you've got to embrace it. This page is inviting you to embrace a new path, to embrace a new start that doesn't involve any sort of feelings of disappointment from the past, any sort of moments where you didn't feel grounded in the past in something that you were doing, that the emotions around you it wasn't consistent with you. And it may have led to some chaos, and it may have led to moments of disappointment, but it's almost like you're seeing that Queen of Swords here today to say to you, seek the truth in the day. How do we want to show up today? That seems to be the most important message here for you. Seven of Cups in reverse. Yeah, I feel like in the past you may have been blocked by fear. You may have had lots of options, but sort of been too afraid to pull the trigger on something that really resonated for you. And you might have just picked the same option that you're used to picking. You know what I mean? And it's almost like you're being guided here to select the option that resonates for you. And even if it's one that's unfamiliar or unique or, against the mainstream, or something that, your rational mind might be like, what are you thinking of? What are you thinking here? You know what I mean? Don't let that narrative get too stuck in there, because I feel like it'll just bring up some fears, and then you won't be able to wear your heart on your sleeve. You won't be able to be expressive emotionally and speak your truth. You know, it's interesting. Speak your truth and show your emotional truth when I see the Queen of Swords and the Knight of Cups. So it's interesting seeing that Seven of Cups in reverse, because it also makes me feel like maybe the same old options from the past just no longer resonate for you. And that, yeah, there's that Ace of Swords in reverse coming up as I'm talking about this. This is almost a moment where you're really being guided to sort of see things in a different way, like to have a different outlook, to look at things in a different way, and to not get stuck over analyzing things, and to not get stuck in your clouded judgment here. Right? Like to really avoid that kind of thing and experience clarity in this moment, to allow yourself to have that clarity in the present moment, to see that it's not, doesn't have to be like it was. And there's the Page of Wands coming out in reverse on that Five of Cups, which, you know, it just makes me feel like whenever you think about the past, it just ties you up. You start to feel very limited, and you might even feel physical symptoms of feeling a little bit stuck when you think about the past. So this reading is really guiding you towards the present, and to sort of let that past energy go. Release that past energy. Yeah, it's weighing down on you. It's a burden. Look at that. You've got 2 10s coming out to clarify that judgment. Judgment is card 20, and you've got 2 10s here. 10, 10. So you've got 10 swords and 10 wands. 10 swords in your back and 10 wands on your shoulder. And it's like you're ready to let all of this go, Aries. It's got to go. This isn't serving you to hang on to anymore. The past doesn't need to predict the future. That you can predict your future. You can change things by making different choices. You know, if you choose something different than you've chosen, you're going to experience a different outcome. And we're seeing the Hierophant here, card 5, also coming out here to sort of reinforce to you that idea that this is divinely guided. You're sort of being moved onto a new path here to make new choices in the present day than you've made in the past, the ones that disappointed you here in the past. And it's interesting. It's like there is a big lesson in the present day here for you to set down these things, to sort of release these judgments in your head, and to stop thinking in a limited way. It's very interesting. You're going through a new paradigm here that is very unique. And it's unique because you're unique. And there are no 2 paths that are the same. So release that self-doubt, let go of that sort of tendency to deny yourself of the experience of having your true expression, your unique true expression, what you were here to bring, you know. And we're seeing here the 8 of Cups on the bottom of the deck in reverse, which makes me feel like it's hard for you to let go of some of this, because there's these weird emotional bonds, right? It's interesting, isn't it, how we can develop emotional attachments to things that make us feel sad, you know, things that make us feel low. You would think that our mind would be very good at filtering those things, so that we tend to hang on to the memories that make us feel empowered and, you know, remind us how we can thrive and how strong we are. But in some way, I suppose, thinking about these other moments that have sort of been a disappointment can also teach you those things, but you've got to refocus it. Instead of focusing on how disappointed you were, think about how you got over it. Think about how that challenge was so upsetting when it happened, but then you moved on. You know what I mean? Like, there's always a way to frame things so that the emotional intensity can shift into something that's empowering instead of something that is limiting and defeating almost. You know what I mean? You have to almost choose your language very carefully as well when you think about this. And when you talk about it, and when you talk to yourself about it, and the pictures in your mind, when you see this past story playing out? What does the picture look like? What are you highlighting in that picture? What's in the forefront? What's in the background? And it might be time to sort of reframe that in your mind so that it's not limiting you anymore, Aries. This is very interesting. I feel like you're really moving towards a lot of peace, but you've got to sort of get past your past. You know what I'm saying? It's interesting. Okay, to close this reading, can we have final guidance here for Aries? Getting past your past. Show the world the real you. Absolutely. This reading is about you really being authentic, seeking your own truth, seeking the truth in your present experience, and sort of releasing the past or the way that you look at the past, to look at it in a different way, then a more empowering way. This is very interesting. Show the world the real you. Indeed. Indeed, Aries. I feel like this is going to be a very powerful week of like choosing things in a different way to see a different outcome. Like if we keep choosing the same things in the same way, we're going to always encounter the same outcome. And I feel like this reading is trying to get you to put your past in the past and show the world who you are authentically, really speaking your truth and expressing yourself as unique as you are. And I just wanted to show you that on the bottom of the deck, it's hold your vision. So this isn't a time to give up or to resign yourself to the same choices that you've made in the past. I feel like this is your opportunity to really, really express yourself authentically and to be really grounded in the present moment. I'm going to leave it at that for you, Aries. Thank you so much for joining me for this reading. I hope it's been helpful. If it has, please consider subscribing, liking, sharing, commenting. If you would like a personal reading, you can find that information in the description below. Okay, my friends, I'm sending you so much love and light. Take care, and I look forward to reading for you again soon.